First phase of construction on riverfront development began in 2017. In August of 2019, it opened as Promenade Park. The next phases of the project are in the works. But for many of his peers, you couldn't mention Tom without including his wife, Cindy.
She was my soulmate for 50 years.
Like her husband, Cindy was very involved in local politics. She served as vice chair of the Allen County Democratic Party, among other high positions in the party. For decades, the two served to improve Fort Wayne. In October 2022, Cindy announced she was battling pancreatic cancer. She passed away in January 2024.
There's no question that we all miss her, but she's not in any more pain, and that's a good thing.
Just a month after that, Mayor Henry shared more devastating medical news.
But also, I have to unfortunately and regretfully announce that I too have been diagnosed with cancer.
Even during this heartbreaking announcement, the mayor had the best interests of the city and its people in mind.
My promise to all of you still stands. We will work together to move the city forward.
That's what Mayor Henry promised, not just in the end, but for decades, working together to make the city better.
God bless you, and God bless the city of Fort Wayne. Thank you.
God bless you too. This has been one of the craziest weeks I've had in nearly 35 years. And now, along with the late Perla Nieto, Mayor Tom Henry welcomed me and my family to Fort Wayne when I moved from Marion in 2018. And I have, now as a Republican, I have a ton of respect for Democrats. And my mom and my brother were Democrats. And this is truly a sad day here in Fort Wayne. It really is. Hey, Caprice? Ella? Yeah? Did you hear any of that? Yeah, I heard it. It's sad. Well, it's not a, fellow YouTube cat that passed. It's our own mayor of Fort Wayne, Indiana. What? Wow.
You're watching local coverage you can count on. This is Wayne 15 News, Nightcast at 11.
Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry has died at the age of 72. This comes nearly a month after the mayor announced he was diagnosed with late-stage stomach cancer. Wayne 15's Ethan Dolan shares his legacy. Ethan?
Mayor Tom Henry had nearly a 40-year political career in Fort Wayne. Hundreds of events, ribbon cuttings, and meetings came to an end today, leaving the city and its residents and those who loved Tom left with the memories he built.
This time I will call roll call. Councilperson Bradbury.
At the first city council meeting in 1984, with a simple word, Fort Wayne was introduced to its future.
Councilman Henry.
Here.
While signaling one's presence with a simple here isn't profound in itself, Tom Henry declaring his presence was something that would last in Fort Wayne for years. He did it for 2 decades at city council meetings, serving Northwest Fort Wayne from 1983 to 2003.
I worked very hard as a city council member. I implemented some practices that now other city council members utilize.
But it was after losing his bid for his 6th term in the 3rd district that he really caught his big break.
Graham Richard decided not to run for a 3rd term. And some say he waited a little long to make that announcement that it put the Democratic Party in a very awkward position to try to recruit somebody.
But now, after 2 terms, Richard will not run for a third.
So they came to me and asked me if I would. Initially, I said no. They ended up asking me a second and a third time, as well as asking my wife, who thought it was a good idea. So I ended up running, and the rest is history, as they say.
That history includes being a part of some of Fort Wayne's most important developments.
The helping with the design of the Martin Luther King Bridge. To be able to sit in a boardroom and help the architects and the engineers design that bridge and be an active part of that, to me was something that was very special. The Harrison hadn't been built, the Marriott hadn't been built, the parking garage was still being completed when I took over. So to be a part of that decision-making process as well.
Our primary objective in Fort Wayne is to keep us moving forward, so I think we'll be okay.
Henry was able to attend to that objective time and time again, winning re-election in 2011, 2015, 2019, and 2023. Serving that long meant that Henry also saw the city through some of its hardest moments, like how to proceed during the COVID-19 epidemic.
There was no reason why our employees should not be vaccinated.
And leading the city during a wave of protests in 2020.
What happened on Friday and Saturday night was a sad statement for this community.
Through it all, Tom wasn't just mayor, but also husband to Cindy Henry for nearly 50 years. Henry was known for her bubbly personality and being a friend to everyone in the Fort Wayne political scene.
Anyone that knows her or have met her, you got a hug, you got a smile, and you got to hear that incredible infectious laugh.
Last year, Cindy was given a pancreatic cancer diagnosis.
I got a little bit of a disappointing diagnosis in September.
And shortly after Tom won re-election in 2023, Cindy passed. About a month later, Tom had a diagnosis of his own.
I have to unfortunately and regretfully announce that I too have been diagnosed with cancer.
At that announcement, Mayor Henry made a last promise to the residents that he served.
My promise to all of you still stands. We will work together to move the city forward.
And before passing on Thursday, March 28th, he kept that promise, keeping up appearances around town. Wayne 15 caught him speaking at the Obama dinner this month. Just last week, he was at his beloved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Bridge as new plaques were installed.
It's a good move.
Since the very first time, Tom Henry said, here, Fort Wayne residents have had someone dedicated to their city. And now that Fort Wayne's longest tenured mayor has passed, they're going to have to learn how to go on without him, holding his vision for the future.
The Henry family has not made any funeral arrangements known at this point in time. In a statement, the family has asked for privacy. You can read it in its entirety right now on Wayne.com. Tom Henry, you'll be missed. Ethan Dolan, Wayne 15 News.
Last November, Mayor Henry won a 5th term as Fort Wayne's mayor, making him the longest tenured mayor in our city's history. The next week, he and I sat down for what turned out to be a 20-minute long interview, and we talked about a lot of topics, including what the city was like when he first took office to now, his goals for a 5th term, and the legacy he would leave behind. Mayor Henry says when he was elected as mayor, the city needed some help. We were a Rust Belt town without much else going for us economically. He wanted to change the narrative. He felt as though some citizens weren't excited to tell people where they were from.
I certainly hope that over the past 15, 16 years that our city has experienced the kind of momentum that makes our citizens proud to be citizens of Fort Wayne.
The mayor says he set out to try and help us grow our economy from more than just manufacturing.
At the same time, we had to make Fort Wayne more attractive, so we decided to invest heavily in our downtown. And for the past 15, 16 years, that's what we've been doing. And I think it's paid off. Our unemployment is down, our population is up, job offerings are coming in, new employers are coming, new houses are being built. So all of the things that you hope for as a result of a nice, positive economic base is coming to fruition.
Thanks to his longevity as mayor, he felt like he'd put down a solid foundation and could experiment a little more, addressing things mayors haven't historically dealt with. Henry saying he just wanted to make Fort Wayne better.
When I get done with these 4 years, I'll have 40 years in public service, over half my life. I chose it because it was my way of trying to give back to the community, a community that's been very good to the whole Henry family.
While having a laugh about the time he said his 4th term would be his last, he did say that at that time he felt like this would have been his last run. So we talked about his legacy and if he thought he would have a street or a building named after him one day.
I've never even thought about that. I really haven't. I'm not into buildings and signs and names that's just not my thing. And most of my family feels the same way. I've got brothers and sisters who certainly deserve to have something named after them for their contribution. But none of us has chosen to do so because it shouldn't be about us. If there's a legacy to be left, I would like it to be that I offered the opportunity for others to exceed. Someone gave me the opportunity, and I would be remiss if I didn't look back and try to help somebody else.
Rex Smith, Wayne 15 News.
He wasn't an emperor in a castle. He was an everyday, intelligent public servant.
It seems everyone is feeling the loss of Mayor Henry's passing tonight, including Fort Wayne City Council members. Wayne 15's Mia Pettigrew shares the thoughts of those who worked closest with him.
As soon as the news of Mayor Henry's passing got out, City Council members showed their love and support for the Henry family and sent their condolences. Each one had fond memories of the mayor and described him as being for the people. They say this is a loss that will be felt for years to come.
The city of Fort Wayne mourns together. We share the love with his legacy and the family that he gave to us, and so they're not alone. And it's a long process, but none of us will ever forget the mayor and his legacy.
He was always jovial. He was even strong with the love of his life mate, his wife of 49 years, who passed away. That man stood and shook everyone's hand who came to pay their respects. He didn't have to do that.
A statement from 5th District City Councilman Jeff Paddock reads, "I know there is a great sadness being shared by all of the Henry family today, and the hearts of all Fort Wayne citizens are broken. We mourn this great loss to our community, but we must pledge to carry on his legacy as he would want us to do." 2nd District Councilman Russ Yale mirrored those same sentiments, saying, "Any words of sadness or condolences regarding the passing of Mayor Henry are inadequate. I mourn with the Henry family and our community as we not only grieve the passing of our mayor, but our city's visionary." To see more reactions from public and local leaders, visit Wayne.com. Mia Pettigrew, Wayne 15 News.
The Allen County Democratic Party has 30 days to hold the caucus of the Fort Wayne precinct chairs to select a new mayor. Deputy Mayor Carl Bandemir is considered to be acting mayor at this time. Henry named Bandemir as deputy mayor in October of 2013. Since the mayor announced his diagnosis, the community rallied around him. Sammy's Buddy Bench collected 1,700 milk jugs for the bench to honor the mayor at Citizen Square. That easily surpassed the 1,000 they had hoped for. The project is being headed up by 15-year-old Sammy Vance, who spent the last several years creating benches out of recycled material. A Buddy Bench builds friendship as it invites people to sit on the bench together. The bench could be placed as early as mid-April at Citizen Square. A plaque will read, "In honor of Mayor Tom Henry, a friend to all."
Wake up for
I laughed, talked about issues ranging from crime to famous signs we all know and love. And speaking of love, the mayor warmly remembered the woman he called his soulmate. We want to now play a few portions of that interview for you. Mayor Henry, thank you so much for joining us here
for inviting me.
On the News at 7. Mayor, the first time I ever met you was last year, and the first thing you ever said to me was, I know you're on TV more than me, and it's really starting to make me mad.
That's true. I remember saying that.
When I heard that, I said, there's a reason this guy's been the mayor of my hometown longer than any other human at all. Mayor, we are here to talk about your State of the City address. Before we get that, because this is the first time I've seen you, I just wanted to quickly first just offer my condolences to you, sir.
Thank you.
I didn't know your late wife, but everything I've heard, she was a wonderful person, and I really was thinking about you and your family a lot. I just wanted to offer my thoughts and prayers to you and your family.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.